is the Big Guy Reviews, and today we're going to be talking about the new Peter Berg movie starring Mark Wahlberg, Deepwater Horizon. This is the second movie that Peter Berg is directing starring Mark Wahlberg. There's going to be a third movie coming out pretty soon called Patriots Day, which is going to be about the Boston Marathon bombing. This movie is about the oil rig that was out in the Gulf of Mexico, owned by British Petroleum, that blows up. 11 workers on the oil rig die, and the Gulf of Mexico pretty much is destroyed as far as water quality is concerned. And there's still pollution showing up on the shores of Louisiana, according to what you read on the internet. And it's pretty much going to be polluted for years to come, from what I read. This movie stars Mark Wahlberg as Mike Williams, one of the workers on the oil rig. I'm not going to say whether or not he's one of the workers that dies or not, because I believe that's a spoiler, and I want people to go in not knowing who's going to die, who's going to live. You got Kurt Russell playing the head supervisor of the oil rig, Jimmy Harrell. Gina Rodriguez plays Andreas Felitas, one of the workers on the oil rig. And then you have John Malkovich playing a BP oil executive that shows up to the rig to see how things are going there. Kate Hudson plays Felicia Williams, Mike Williams' wife, Mark Wahlberg's wife in the film. And then you have a little girl playing Sydney Williams, who is the daughter of Mike and Felicia Williams. And this movie is very good. I really like this movie. It's very intense and suspenseful. Mark Wahlberg does an excellent job playing this everyday character. I really did like him in the film, and he was very relatable. The chemistry he has with Kate Hudson is great, and the family that they show between him, Kate Hudson, and the little girl was very believable and everything. I really did like that. Kurt Russell was excellent as the supervisor. I really did like him. I did like the leadership he was showing, and the fact that he cared about the safety of the rig to the water and the safety of the workers was done very well too. And then you have John Malkovich playing this greedy BP oil executive. He was great. I really did like him. You really don't like his character when you see him. He does a very good job of portraying this BP oil executive as somebody that only cares about the bottom line, doesn't care about water quality, doesn't care about the safety of the workers, all he cares about is making money from the oil. And Gina Rodriguez was very good in the movie. I really did like her. And everybody was great. I did like all the actors. The visuals as regards to the direction was done very well. The fire when the rig starts to blow up, that was done very well. And the visuals of the rig, how it works and everything, and as you can see, the problems with the rig, that was done very well and everything. So what were the negatives of this film? Because I didn't like everything. And the main negative of this movie is rewatchability. I really can't see myself watching this movie more than once. The movie is very intense, and because it's so intense, I can't see myself watching this movie more than once. And when I saw this movie, when I heard about this movie, I was concerned about whether or not the bias was going to be pro-oil, whether or not it was going to make BP look like a bunch of heroes or something. And it really doesn't do that. It doesn't make BP look like they're heroes or look like offshore oil drilling is the right thing to do. What it does is it does show the dangers of offshore oil drilling and why we shouldn't be doing it. Because when the rig blows up, you realize that the oil is going to get into the water. And from my opinion, I don't see any safe way of doing offshore oil drilling. You're doing offshore oil drilling, you're just asking for the water to be polluted. There is really no way to avoid water from being polluted when you're drilling, when you're doing offshore oil drilling. So really, you just shouldn't be doing it, period. And it's just another reason why we should be going to green energy, solar, wind, hydro energy, whatever. Just get off of fossil fuels altogether. And I really did like this movie, and I was glad that it wasn't being pro-oil. So overall, I'm going to give this movie a B. And the reason why is that it is a bit long, and the fact that I really can't see myself watching this movie more than once, but I do think it is worth seeing in the theater. So definitely check this movie out, and that's all I got to say for Deepwater Horizon.